UFOs have been all over the news lately with testimony and video from fighter jet cockpits showing unexplainable events in the sky. Congress has even approved an official investigation into possible alien contact, prompting many to ask, how long has this been going on? Here at Revolutionary Spaces, we've decided to dig deeper and we've recruited our guests to help in a game we call Was It Aliens? Our researchers have compiled a series of historical events based on primary sources and eyewitness testimony, and our guests need to tell us whether they think it might have been aliens. Are you ready?
Go for it.
Phenomenon number one. On May 19th, 1780, darkness slowly descended over New England. Mid-morning was dim, and by noon that day, Bostonians had to use candles to see, as an unexplained presence blotted out the sun, prompting thousands to worry that the day of judgment had arrived. How do you explain that, historians? Was it aliens?
What do you think, Serena?
Oh, that's so mean. I think actually, that the presence of, the unexplainable was common in early America. Lots of people thought that, there are signs, importance, they're everywhere. What is the difference in the 18th century between aliens and the hand of God? I'm not sure. So maybe.
Yeah, who knows? The year without summer. If it could happen then, why not in 1780?
Yeah, I don't think it was Krakatoa, but you never know.
It seems like you're both maybe saying that maybe it's aliens. Is that the answer you're going with?
I hate to say no.
Yeah. Are we supposed to be open-minded?
I want to believe.
Either that or so many people had previously been building pizza ovens that, there was an immense amount of smoke in the air from everyone's backyard ovens. And there we are.
That's possible too. Colonial pizza oven. There's not enough written about it.
Yeah, that does certainly fit with my particular method of making pizza. Well, let's move on to our next phenomenon. On April 18, 1775, the whole of Charlestown was brought into a stir as two bright lights appeared in the sky as high as any man-made construction. As many as a dozen or more people rushed towards the New England countryside by horse to warn of impending invasion. How do you explain that? Was it aliens?
That one I have a harder time with. Although it's possible, far be it from me to actually, deny the presence of aliens anywhere. I think that signal fires, possibly beacons, we might think here about Beacon Hill, might explain things, but I don't know.
Yeah, and I somewhere in, when I was in graduate school, or was it second grade, I remember reading about this guy, Paul Revere. And I think there's something here,
Maybe people were saying to each other, you should watch out, because I think that there's a bunch of guys who are strangely dressed in heavy wool clothing, tramping through the countryside. They're a little wet. They're maybe not that quiet, but nonetheless, you might want to get ready. It might just take, you may only have a minute to get a lot of men organized to get out on your village green.
And those red coats don't mean they're from the red planet.
So that is Mars, which is Mars is the god of war, I believe. So that would have made sense.
Ooh, nice! Ding, 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 ding.
So you're gonna say your answer on this? What's your final say? Aliens or not aliens?
We're going to go out on a limb,
Not aliens.
Say not aliens.
On July 4th, 1776, representatives from over a dozen disillusioned New World colonies agreed to formal separation from their original port of origin. The designated leader of the representative body signed his signature so large that some say it could be seen from the farthest reaches of space. Got you there. Was it aliens?
Wow.
John Hancock is like the Great Wall of China.
Or Shea Stadium.
We certainly consider him to be a wonder of the world.
That's right.
Here in Boston.
I'd heard it was the king needed to would not need to wear his spectacles.
Yes.
If the king happened to be on Mars for a couple of months, he also wouldn't need spectacles there, I guess.
Yes, I'd say John Hancock. Maybe I might suggest that this is a place not for, alien hunters, but maybe for like a psychologist. I mean, I think it's maybe says something about the size of his ego that he was signing like that. So I say John Hancock and his ego.
I'm good with that.
On October 27th, 2004, a group of local men overturned a well-known curse put upon them by possibly Illuminati-connected businessmen and claimed a supreme victory for the first time in almost a century, beginning the renewed and some might say supernatural era of Boston as a city of champions. Seriously, do you think aliens were involved here?
Definitely. Oops. I don't think it's happened yet. That's all a myth.
Look, we've got some sports teams whose championships have been called into question, but I don't think that this is one of those cases.
Serena, you haven't said anything.
I know. I fear that I will never be allowed in Boston again if I admit to the depth of my ignorance about the Red Sox. But I will say that that the curse, yes, was just not aliens, just New Yorkers. That's what I say.
Yeah. Now, Bill Buckner's legs, that World Series, there might have been aliens involved in that.
Yeah, that was a little bit harder to explain.
Yeah, Bill Buckner might be an alien. Who knows?
It would be a good excuse. On March 1st, 1639, colonial governor John Winthrop recorded testimony of multiple colonists who reported seeing a green light zipping back and forth over the Charles River like an arrow over the course of 2 to 3 hours. At one point, the light reportedly came down from the sky and took the form of something resembling a pig. Was it aliens?
Oh.
Serena, you work on an earlier period than I do. This is...
I know. Again, so this, I think, brings together two of my favorite concepts of early America. One is, again, the unending portents in which, all things are explainable, right? Through saying that God is sending a message. We just got to figure out exactly what it is. Is that portent a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Is it warning us of something that we already did wrong? Or is it telling us about something that's going to happen? Who knows, but it's definitely a sign. It's a sign of something. So it brings together first this idea that Providence has something to say. You just don't quite know what. And the second one is a phenomenon that comes a little later, but nonetheless, I love, which is the idea of the learned pig, right? The pig, I love the learned pig. The pig that travels around. Many people had learned, there were several learned pigs, at least in early America. Maybe many people didn't have them, and they could spell. You gave them letters and they would spell things with their snouts by pushing the letters into place. They could add better than I could. So I think that that's what actually this Portman was saying, is look for the learned pig.
So I may be misunderstanding, but are you saying that pigs are aliens or that God is an alien? Those are my two interpretations.
I am not going to say on something that's been recorded on Zoom that God is an alien. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
Serena has just covered the bases so well, going back to our previous question, that I'm not sure I could add anything. But I guess what I would say is things like this happen in New England all the time. And nobody would say they were space aliens. I mean, it's just, that's, Professor, that's just what happens.
Yeah. I've seen weird green lights in the sky over New England, to be honest with you, in New Hampshire, actually.
That's right.
Conclusive statements from two professors of history that aliens are real. Thank you so much. Is that, can we agree on that? I think I think I'm understanding what you're saying.
Well, the
all
odds.
right. Thank you, Elijah Gould and Serena Zabin. Thank you so much.